it is okay to stop the program whenever you feel like stopping the program for a short time. Don't stop for a long time. Or just be off the plan completely. Eat the foods that you used to love to eat. And learn. And after that, commit to finishing the job, which means if you need to lose 36 pounds, stay on the program until you lose all 36 pounds. Because it's a matter of life or death. Literally. It really is. The first thing that people who allow inflammation to occur in their bodies, especially after the age of 55, the first thing that happens is, or they're subjecting their body to, is early death. And not just any kind of death, it's sudden death. Sudden death. Even those who have absolutely no signs of disease. The first sign can be sudden death. The first sign. You see? So
the second sign. That one you don't get the
that's
second
right.
No, the
sign.
second sign's a
There's no
tombstone,
second
right?
sign. You know?
Yeah.
So this is your life. Don't do the program like this. Ask questions, learn, be on the program, be off the program, and learn. This is your best way to stay on the program and stay on the program until the job is done. Don't do the half of the program, lose half of the weight, develop and establish half of the habits and routines. One single habit, destructive habit, unhealthy habit, that is left untouched, unfixed, can destroy this entire process. Okay? So don't go into agreement with any behavior that causes weight loss that you cannot maintain indefinitely. Mm-hmm. Like, for example, I want to go on a detox. Because every time I do a detox, I lose 6 pounds. Are you going to be on a detox for the rest of your life? No. It's not a good solution. If you like to do it once a month, once a year. Not a big deal. It's good. In fact, detox is once a year, where you basically limit your intake to vegetables, maybe juiced vegetables even, is okay. It's good for the body. But is that a way to lose weight? No. You have to have a normal life. You have to be engaged completely with life and obtain the targets that you have set out to achieve here on this program. Otherwise, the program is not working. It may look like it's working on paper. You see, when you do testing, and you may feel great about that, but that does not mean that you're going to continue to have those results. It's so easy to reverse all of these accomplishments. The only way to be successful indefinitely is to establish those habits and routines. And the only way for these habits and routines to be established indefinitely is for you to enjoy them. They cannot be habits and routines that you practice because you know that you have to do that. And you hate the food and you hate the exercise. It's not going to work. Because willpower will, at one point, expire. We can't really depend on willpower. It's okay to use willpower to start the program, but not to continue. You need to use willpower to make that decision to start, because that's not easy. Because you know that you should expect to make changes to your life. Some of these changes may not be comfortable, so it's okay. But to create an entire plan or program based on willpower, it simply does not work.
Yeah, we're humans.
Well, what's happening for me is what I'm trying to do. It's not just losing weight or getting off insulin, but there's some things I want to do. It's a bucket list, and in order for me to do that, I cannot be, unable to go up a flight of stairs or, there's some things I want to do, and it requires me to be in much better physical condition than I am now.
Of course,
And I'm not getting younger.
no one is.
Yeah, so there's no time to waste, and so that's
I
kind of where I
agree.
am on that.
Totally, totally. But even with that level of motivation and dedication and clarity of purpose, keep working with your coach on developing habits that you love. For example, let's say you hate to exercise in general. You hate to use machines, you hate to show up for exercise, which is okay. You have to be very truthful with your own self about those things. So what do you do? Because exercise is absolutely essential. So how do we handle this? Is there any form of movement that you enjoy? Maybe walking. Start there.
Or dancing.
Or dancing. More enjoyable. Absolutely. You see? You have to find a way for you to move. If it's not exercising optimally with supervision, with testing, and so on, it's okay. You have to start somewhere because you have to move. The human body has to move every single day for a minimum of 21 minutes at a very acceptable rate to prevent disease, chronic disease. Minimum, absolute minimum, 21 minutes. Of course, 30 minutes is better, 45 is even better, 1 hour is better, and so forth. You see? Let's say you don't want to walk every day because you're being very truthful with what you feel like doing or not doing. But you don't mind you don't mind taking a long walk, maybe on the weekend. Go to the beach or take a hike up the mountain, and so on. You have to move. Why? Because the human body is designed to move. It's not designed to ride a bike or drive a car, or it's not designed to do that, you see, or sit at a desk. It's not. So we have to fix that problem. We have to find a solution. That solution, though, has to be your solution. So if you need to use your willpower to force yourself, say, to show up and exercise and so forth, one of two things need to happen. One is this becomes an actual habit that you enjoy. And in that case, it's okay, keep it going. Or you will eventually have to find something. Start somewhere, move the body for sure. Start with the absolute minimal limits of movement, which is 21 minutes, 7 days a week. I'm not saying optimum, I'm saying absolute minimum. Okay? And take it from there, because you'll be healthier and you will have more energy and you'll be more interested in being healthy and in continuing to be healthy and in preventing disease and disability and so forth. All of these things happen in layers. So unless it's real to you, don't do it. Unless you are willing to use willpower, which is basically force, you're forcing yourself, with the understanding that this is not a good strategy, except if it's short term. You see? So that's what we have for you here. We want you to develop your own program with the help of your coach. That's why I always say that our programs are coached. They have to be coached because you have to go through these processes and you have to come to your own conclusions. And I can tell you, I have coached thousands and thousands of individuals through this entire program, and I can tell you every single case is unique in many different ways. We're all human, we all have human bodies operate on the same physiology and so forth. That's true. But there's uniqueness about each individual. Your likes and dislikes determine how the program is going to go. And each person has likes and dislikes. You see, you don't like kale. There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, I'll eat it, but if I had to choose between it and something else probably, unless it's worse.
Have you tried the baby kale?
No, I don't know. It's all chopped up. I bought the bags of the kale in the market.
Look
Maybe
for the
that wasn't a good
baby
idea.
kale. Baby kale's a little bit easier to get.
That sounds like an idea.
softer.
My daughter usually gets that
Softer.
stuff.
It's softer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
There's something else that
strong.
you can do with kale is you can massage it. If you massage it, you break up those fibers,
Hmm.
and it's actually a much better experience.
I've had it cooked. It's not so bad.
Cooked, yeah,
But raw,
yeah. Try that. It makes a big difference.
give it a
It
try.
makes a big
Smoothie.
difference.
It's good.
But you don't have to have kale.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
No, I just.
You only have to have what you like to have.
Well, I was just pointing that out because I'm discovering things that I thought I liked, but I didn't, and thought I didn't like, and I do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this kind of a thing. So, and I'll probably get bored with something, and then I'll probably bring something else in anyway.
Yeah.
It's kind of what it is. I've tried some weird combinations. You'd probably think I was nuts, but adding tomatoes with cantaloupe and things like that, pretty weird. But
Mm-hmm.
some of it worked. Some of it, well,
Yeah, exactly. See, that's what unique is. You know, whatever works for you. But you have to be honest with yourself, and your job is not to make your coach happy or impress anybody. You know? It's all about you.
you took the fun out of it.
You'll make him happy when you do that, by the way. When you do it right, you make him or her really happy. Because that's what they want for you. They want the program to give you tools that will last for a lifetime. And the purpose of the program is longevity, and not just adding years to your life. No, it's quality years, healthy years, years that are productive, that are enjoyable, where you can contribute to the things that you want to contribute to. You see, whatever these things are for you. But there's no compromise. There's no compromise. It has to be your way. It has to be your way. That's why we don't call you patients here. We call you active participants. You have to participate. That's why also I don't want you to have arbitrary targets. No, I'm going to finish this. I'm going to lose so many pounds by that time. No, it's a journey. You want to lose the weight and reverse disease and not need to take any medication. And that takes whatever it takes for you. Don't compare your progress to anybody else's. It doesn't work that way. It's your journey, whatever that is. You see? I had a patient who was on the program for a whole year without losing a single pound.
Wow.
You?
I haven't lost any
You haven't lost any. Okay. How long have you been on the program?
since April.
April. That's a long time.
Yeah.
I had one person who was on the program for a whole year, 0 weight loss. Why did she stay on the program? Because in her viewpoint, the fact that she was not gaining weight was an outstanding accomplishment. She was not really on the program. We need to also add that. She was not fully on the program, and she was not on the right program.
Yeah,
But when she was
don't-
given a program, she would not really follow the program completely, on, off, which resulted in
Okay.
her not gaining weight. And for her, that was an amazing, because I kept telling her, why do you stay on the program? Of course, she had done only the first level of the program. You know, we have about 14 levels to the program. So she had done only the first level, and she says, I'm good. And she would just re-sign and extend her program. After that 1 year, suddenly she decided that she was ready to really engage the program. And that's a unique situation. And it's completely okay. And eventually she lost all of the weight that she needed to lose, and she was very healthy at that point. Very healthy. No meds, and you know.
I was hoping that they would call jelly donuts a fruit.
You can call it fruit. You see?
Didn't work though.
I also had a lady who was on the program. She was on the program for about maybe 6 months. 0 weight loss. She was really on the program though. She was showing up. She was doing the exercise. She was eating perfectly based on the plan. Perfectly. 0 response to the program. And so when I really investigated to find out what's going on, I realized, which I didn't know, that she was such a senior executive at one of the major international corporations. She was in charge of 350 people in her department, you see. And because the company was international, she had to be up all the time because around the clock, countries, called her and asked for guidance and help, and they want to have meetings and things like that. So she was not sleeping well. When I discussed sleep with her, she said, I sleep 4 hours and I've always slept 4 hours and I'm fine. This cannot be the problem. I said, she was not willing to tackle this. You see? Of course, in her case, because of the stress level, she needed to sleep 9 hours. 9 hours. The body needed 9 hours of sleep every night, which was not just impossible for her, it was unthinkable.
Unconceivable.
Yeah, because the idea of sleeping that many hours, so unreal, she was not willing to even ask me why. She said, oh no, there's no way we can do that. I said, okay, let's work on your stress. She goes, there's nothing I can do about my stress. It's the nature of my job. I have to be available, and so on. So what I did, I went and observed firsthand, went to her office downtown. I wanted to see what's going on. And I told her, I have a solution for you. You're going to lose the weight.
Layla, reach out.
Oops.
And the solution was the following. For her to take an hour as her lunch break for lunch. And during this hour, her office was huge. Her personal office was like an apartment. And she had a bathroom, and she had a bedroom next to her office, and so on. So I said to her, okay, you take an hour, for a half hour, you take a nap. She goes, what do you mean? I'm not gonna be able to sleep. I said, don't sleep. Close your eyes, and that's good enough for me. Take a nap, then for 15 minutes, get a chair massage, and for 15 minutes, take a shower. She goes, it's such a weird, recommendation. I said, yeah, because we need to reduce your stress level, and you're not giving me options. She says, okay, will this really work? I said, it can work. Long story short, she did that and she lost weight. Despite the fact that she was not sleeping well. But she realized that the body needed to rest. Real rest, you see. Plus the massage was very helpful. It relaxed her, And she did that religiously. And she said, I can do that for the rest of my life. That's why it was valuable, because she could do that for the rest of her life and enjoy it.
Now, I've been taking naps all the time and it hasn't done anything for me.
Right. You see,
I sleep 4 hours and hours, right?
But you see, everyone has a unique situation.
Yeah.
And the solution has to be your solution. And I want to see you, not today, but I want to see you as soon as possible.
Okay.
Maybe tomorrow. If you can make sure you get on my schedule, that would be great.
Okay.
Yeah, because we want to find out exactly why you're not losing. It's very unusual. It does happen. It does happen. Like right this second, today, we have 7 people who are not making consistent progress on the plan today, out of maybe 150 people. So all of the coaches know who these people are. The coaching coordinator, the coaching supervisor, and myself work on these cases closely to find out what it is that we can do. So come and see me. We want to bypass that system. Come see me directly. Is that making sense? What we're trying to achieve?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I want to make sure that this becomes your conviction. I want to find out from you what about the program that you're on that is not working for you. Anybody who can share something specific about the program that is not working for you.
The food.
The food.
And
Tell me
and it's when I have to go to meetings
Mhm.
or when I have to go out socially, let's say, and I have no control over what I can eat because it's already pre-ordered or pre-made.
Of course.
So now this is it. This is like yesterday was very bad. So this is it. So I try to take out the bread, take out the cheese, just eat the meat, have more salad, but sometimes that doesn't work either. If the salad has cheese all messed around with it and all the dressing is in there, it's just very difficult to deal with that
Of course. Controlling food all the time.
all the time.
So you're on the plan food-wise all the time.
Yeah.
That's challenging.
When I can, for meetings, let's say, I will take my food with me and everyone laughs at me, of course, as I take out my lunch and eat it while everybody else is having, whatever they are. But some days I'm not able to do that simply because of what the meeting is about or where it is.
Understandable.
Yeah.
There are solutions for that. Because that's not a unique situation.
I was gonna
Other
say, I
people-
do have that problem,
Of
but
course.
I've luckily so far been able to deal with it, but I know at one point it's not gonna work.
Mhm.
And I'm thinking, what am I gonna do with Thanksgiving?
You're gonna enjoy it. Seriously.
You're gonna have
Within reason.
tofurkey.
Tofu
Go for
turkey?
it. Only if you love it.
Well, it would be the rest
Otherwise,
of the
have
family.
turkey. Just regular, normal turkey.
Yeah.
We'll address that in detail. But the question about Thanksgiving is a very good question because it really makes what I'm talking about very clear. What is the purpose of this program for you? To be healthy, let's say. To lose weight, be fit, enjoy life better, not need to take medication, things like that. Okay. Why? Because you want to enjoy life. If you were to go to a Thanksgiving dinner with the idea that you can't eat this and can't eat that and so forth, what will that do to your level of enjoyment? That's right. So it defeats the purpose. So what do? Some of the foods obviously are not healthy. Some of the foods will create inflammation. And you don't want to create inflammation. So what do? Here's what you do. If you like the food, eat it. Within reason. Don't try to make, what is it called? Tofurkey or something?
Turducken, you mean? Oh, the tofu turkey.
Tofu.
Yeah.
I think it's called tofurkey or
Yeah.
something.
It's really quite good, actually.
Yeah. But don't do that unless you love it that way. Eat the real thing. There's no substitution. What if you want to have ice cream?
Portion
And-
control.
Yeah, and the only way to actually practice portion control is here. For you to have experienced health and stopped experiencing health and then develop this understanding and that decision, you need to develop that decision. And then you go to the Thanksgiving dinner and you have a bite of this, a couple of bites of that. And before you go, you fill up on some vegetables maybe, and you just have a bite of everything, or 2 bites, or 3 bites, and you'll be completely satisfied. Completely satisfied. The body is going to be completely satisfied because you're giving it what it likes. There's no way you can eat too much food when you're too much unhealthy food. When your stomach is already full with vegetables. So eat some vegetables before you go. Start having what everybody else is having and use your own judgment as to how much you need to eat. Worst case scenario, you go, You're not prepared. You're very hungry. The food is delicious. And the state of mind is, I'm just going to eat whatever I want to eat because it's just once a year. I mean, I'm not going to.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I've done that.
There's nothing wrong with that. This is your life. No, when you do it, of course, you're creating damage. You're creating inflammation. But then the next day you can fix it. It's going to take probably a whole week. But there's nothing wrong with that. You can do a detox, well-structured detox, where you're full, you're not hungry, but the body is, you're helping the body basically reduce the inflammation caused by Thanksgiving.
What about fasting?
Mhm.
Is
You mean
that,
water fasting?
yeah, water fasting.
Water fasting is great. It has to be medically supervised. You cannot do it at your home. I mean, you can. It's dangerous. You see, you should do it at a facility where you can get medical supervision, inpatient facilities, and it's great. It's extremely helpful. It reduces inflammation. It forces the body to go after fat for metabolism because you're not supplying any calories, any food. And the body can do that, obviously. You experience weight loss. You may experience, anywhere between 3, 4, 5 to 6, 7, 8 pounds of actual fat burning in a week. In addition to major reduction in inflammatory water. You're going to lose water like there's no tomorrow. Of course, on a water fast, you're drinking a lot of water, you see. So the body, yes, the body can go through an extended period of water fasting. It could be all the way up to 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks on water. And guess what? Humans on Earth, throughout our history as humans, we have experienced that very frequently. The human body is designed to do that. That's why when it comes to energy expenditure, the body is very stingy. It doesn't expend a lot of energy unless it absolutely has to. So when you have no food to eat, which happened a million times throughout our history, you can survive. Even when you're going through, say, a winter that is absolutely severe, where there's no vegetation that could survive, and you can't even go out to hunt or anything like this. You're not going to die unless it goes beyond that. Because the body, when you don't give the body any food, you just give it water, it will not burn muscle. You'll keep your muscle mass intact until there's no more fat. Then it will go after the muscles for energy, for survival, for metabolism, so you can survive a little more. And at that point, we're in trouble because the structures, the organs in the body are built with protein. So if you get that protein consumed for energy, those who go on hunger strikes get to the point where they're on, say, day 45, 47, 50, and so forth. They're still alive, but they start to suffer major consequences because the body